Hi, welcome to my channel. This is my very first ever video and I have filmed my process of making this little book swap for my book club at the end of the month. So we're going to make a quilted bookmark, a keychain, we're going to add some stickers, we're going to wrap it all together nicely, and I've also thrown a little t-shirt that I made for myself as well. I do hope you enjoy. Please subscribe and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it or if you'd like to see any more of these, or well, anything really. I'm probably yapping now because I feel a bit silly, but please enjoy and enjoy the video. This month in our book club we're having a little swap, so I thought I would create some little extras to go into my little book package. So I thought I'd just take you along the ride and what we're going to make. We're going to make a couple of Cricut crafts, a couple with vinyl, a couple with heat transfer, a couple of print and cut, and also a quilted bookmark to go along with it. And then at the end we'll wrap it all up nice and pretty together. So first of all, we're going to make a keychain to go with it. I have already made two because I have got a couple of girlfriends that go to the same book club and I thought they'd like them. So I'm going to make a third one for the last lady, and then this one is going to go into my book club. So we'll begin with those. I will link the bundle that I bought these from. It was an Etsy buy, and then this one was with my Cricut. Now it could be with the access, I do pay for the access, but I can also link that design there for you as well. I'm using, I think it's tech wrap vinyl. It's what I've got in my stash. I've had it for a long time. I'm just trying to use it up before I buy any more. And then the motel keychains, I actually got them from Temu. I want to say a pack of 20, not more than £5, and these actually glow in the dark, which I think are really fun. First of all, we're going to I have pre-weeded everything just for ease, and so that you're not sat watching me weeding out every little and middle and edge. But first of all, we're going to take some transfer paper. Now this is one that I just buy off Amazon on the roll. It's lasted me, I've had the Cricut machine for maybe 2 years and it's still going strong. So first of all, we're going to pop our transfer paper on. I'm going to take my little scraper, I'm going to scrape across the top. I'm going to turn it over and scrape across the bottom. And with a bit of luck, we should be able to peel away. Oh no, I was going to say beautifully, but I think it's telling me lies. If we can line that up nicely, hopefully. Try that again. We'll try that again. So fingers crossed this time we'll be a bit more gentler. Sometimes if you're having a bit of struggle trying to get your transfer away from your vinyl, the best thing to do is peel it back. So I'm going to try and line this up as best I can. I might just stand up a little bit to be able to do that. This one was already pre-sized for the keychain, and I had no worries with the other one, whereas the other bundle I had to size to fit. So I'm just using my little scraper and we're just going to make sure we've got that all rubbed down, and then peel away our transfer paper. Beautiful. I'm going to try and reuse this piece of transfer paper as well. Shouldn't need someone. So for these we're going to do exactly the same thing, but this time we're going to line up on the other side nice and neatly. So we're going to burnish, that's the word I've been looking for. Burnish on the front, again on the back. I don't know if this makes any difference, but when I was learning to use my Cricut, it's exactly what I did, we're going to turn it over, and hopefully, I did struggle when I was peeling these away yesterday, so I'm going to grab my weeding tool just to help get these to stick. So you can see, look, it wanted to peel up just ever so slightly. So if I use my weeding tool to get the first initial bits off, usually I can pull these bits up quite nicely without having to struggle. Okay, so that's so again, we're just going to line up as best you can. Remember, these are handmade gifts. You're meant to enjoy the gift, not worry too much about perfection. Okay, so that looks about right to me. And I'm going to go ahead and burnish that one down too. And hopefully that should just peel nicely. Beautiful. And then just to finish off, we'll do the last one, and I will throw this bit of transfer away once I've done, because I think it's about at its wit's end. Oops, sorry, knocked you there. And again, we'll just see if we need to help this one slightly, which sometimes, like I say, it just depends if it wants to play ball, really. Last one, and again we're just going to line this one up. And peel away this perfect. So now we have some super fun keychains ready to swap. On to the next. Now this one's a bit of a personal one to me, but I picked up this long sleeve t-shirt from Primark and I really enjoyed it, but I wanted something a little bit of embellishing. It's going to need a bit of a press, and I'll take this off. So this is a super cheap long sleeve t-shirt. I think it was £4. I mean, you cannot go wrong. Now, I've never pre-washed any of my clothes and I've not had a problem with it. Obviously, if this is a craft for yourself, feel free to give it a bit of a wash if you like to beforehand, but I'm not going to worry too much. And for this one, we're just going to bring in my Cricut. Is it a mini? And I'm going to just turn it on to top heat. I'm going to be honest, I don't know the heat settings for this HTV. I've had it for a long time, but I usually just go for medium to high heat and just go for it and hope for the best. But this is the SVG we're going to do, and I think it's going to look super sweet if we just had it there. I think that'll look super nice. So first of all, we're going to put that to one side, and I'm just going to grab my heat mat. So this is a wall ironing mat I have for my quilting and things like that, which I'm hoping to put some tutorials up on those bits and bobs and little sewing things that I make. And I'm just going to pre-press the area with my Easy Press Mini, that's what it's called. Just to make sure it's nice and flat. And we're going to make sure we've got no little fluffs. And I think the best way to start with this will be, we're going to do the reader's part first. And I'm going to go, I think just there. Okey-dokey. Now, the thing to remember with an Easy Press Mini, it is designed to keep it moving. So I'm just going to turn it down to a medium heat, just to be careful. We'll wait for that to give us a little tootle to let us know it's ready. Okay, so now it's ready. And I'm just going to use my heat press, and I'm just going to keep it moving. Like I said, it's designed to keep it moving just for a few seconds or so. And you can usually tell when heat transfer is stuck. I'm going to say that's about right. And I'm going to do this in a cold peel. So I'm going to remove my heat mat from underneath. And I'm just going to turn it over onto my glass mat. And you can feel the heat drawing, not glass mat, sorry, onto my mat. And you can feel the heat drawing from that. And then hopefully we should be able to peel this off. You just keep an eye on it. So that's not quite ready. So what we're watching for is for any bits peeling up. So far, so good. If you do notice any, so like that little bit of the R at the end seems to be having a bit of time. And what I am going to do is I'm going to just pop that back over, grab my heat mat, and we're just going to go back over that once more just to make sure it's really setting. Again, not for too long, just a couple of seconds. And I should be able to pull that off nicely. Beautiful. Okay, for the second piece, we're just going to line that bit up. And that is similar to where the SVG had it, I think. And then we also are going to just pop that bit over the edge. In fact, I'm just going to chop a little bit off each end just to protect that additional heat transfer vinyl, and I don't want to get it on the bottom of my iron. So again, we're just going to go over that making sure we're keeping it moving. I loved this SVG when I found it. Again, I'll link this below. I just thought it was super sweet, and also fun fact about me is I am quite a severe insomniac. I really struggle to sleep, so I do often read into the wee hours of the morning. Okie dokie. Pop that there. I'm just going to move the mat again. Turn that over. If you're ever struggling to figure out a heat setting, I believe the Cricut website has a option where you can search for the heat and how long and things like that it might take. Bits and bobs. There we go. To heat through. Okay. Now we've done that, we should be able to take those 2 extra pieces we popped on just for safety. Okay. And then we're gonna, fingers crossed. Again, just keeping an eye. Making sure that everything has set nicely. There we go. Cute little t-shirt for myself. Now then, we're going to pop that to the side. That's super cute. And we're going to work on a quilted bookmark. So I'll be back shortly. I'll get everything ready and then we'll be okay. So what we're going to need to make a quilted bookmark is some scrap fabrics and a little bit of scrap batting. I'm going to use a heat erasable marking pen. I have got a quilting ruler, however a regular ruler will be just fine. I'm also going to use my rotary cutter, and I've got some stick and spray to patch them together. However, you can use pins, that's perfectly fine also. I am going to do this on the sewing machine, but hand quilting again is still just fine. And the only other thing I'm going to do right at the very end is I've pre-cut and weeded out a second of that Midnight Readers Club, because we're going to use that to put at the bottom, I think. So that's going to determine the width. Oh my gosh, I've got hair. So this has a straight line, and I'm thinking 3 inches. It's going to be perfect. So I'm going to use my cutting ruler and my mat as a guide. In fact, we should probably pop them both on that straight edge. So as you can see, I'm just sort of lining it up on that straight edge. And then I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to line up this bottom one and this top one. Cut that straight off. And again, I'm going to turn it just because I find it easier with using my right hand, as I am right-handed. Again, I'm just gonna line that up and trim. finally, I think that's a pretty good length. So I'm just going to trim that little bit of this first one off. So I'll let you know what the final measurements of that was. So we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches by 3 inches. That's what we're working with. And now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to chop this. I'm going to, first of all, grab my spray adhesive and I'm just going to pop a little bit on the back of this and pop that straight on. Then I'm going to use my ruler to line this up. I probably should have done it all in one go, but sometimes I find it a lot easier. So I'm just going to line my quilting ruler with that straight edge of the fabric with Pretty Fabrics. And I'm just going to chop and do that all the way around. Then I'm going to turn it over, add a little bit more spray, and I'm going to line this side up with that side. I'm going to fold it in half first, just so I can see the edge. And that is all basted together. Now for my quilting lines, I'm going to do something really simple, and I'm going to just do a crosshatch design, and I'm going to use my quilting ruler, and we're just going to do, I'm going to pick a spot, there, looks good. And I'm going to use my heat erasable pen, and I'm just going to draw that first one in. I can't see it very well. I picked a darker one, but no, mine look, this will have. Okay, we're not going to use that one. Find a different colour. This is also heat erasable. So I've got the first one in, and I'm just going to do an inch apart, really simple. It doesn't, like I say, it doesn't need to be anything fantastic. I'm just going to turn that over. You don't need, I mean, you can go in as intricate as you like, really, but I don't think there's a need to go that far into it. Okay. Teeny tiny one. And then I'm just gonna pick a spot here, probably there, work. That's my centre line. And again, working an inch away. last one. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and I'm going to straight line quilt just using my regular stitch down each one, and I'm going to come back and I'll tell you the next step. Okay, so now I've done the quilting, I am just going to grab my heat mat and I'm just going to use my Easy Press Mini because it's here to hand, and I'm just going to iron away those quilting lines and give it a good press. And as you can see now, they are all gone. And as a final finish, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it back to the sewing machine and I'm going to do a straight stitch just around the edge, probably about 1/4 of an inch away, just to lock in those quilting stitches on the end. And then we're going to give it a little bit of a fun edge by using our pinking shears to stop the fabric from fraying over time. So I'll be back in a moment once I've done that. Okie dokie, so like I said, I've just gone round the edge with a little stitch, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my pinking shears and I'm just going to trim that off, not super close to the stitches but close enough, just to give that a pretty edge really. I mean, you could bind the edges if you wanted to. I don't feel like you need to do that. But if you wanted to take it a step further with your finishing, feel free to bind the edges. So like I said, we're just going to go right round the edge, not cutting your edge stitching, because that will lock your quilting lines in place. Okay, and final. I'll move that away. Right. I have since turned my Easy Press back on, and we're going to add our iron on to this. I'm just going to pop that out of the way and smooth my quilting roller out of the way. I'm just going to check one last time for any pen marks that need to be ironed out. And then I've had a little thought while I was stitching that edge, and I'll take you through that in just a moment. But first of all, I'm going to pick which side I like the best. I like this one the best, I think. And which is my top and bottom. I think that'll be the top, this will be the bottom. And we're going to do this just at the bottom. Again, I think it looks pretty at the bottom. You can choose where you want yours to go. It's completely your preference at this point. And we're just going to repeat what we did with the t-shirt. I've popped this on at medium heat. And I'm just going to keep moving that around. Again, scooching my mat to one side. Letting my mat heat, and then peeling off, just monitoring as I go. You can see a little bit on the edges, so I'm just going to pull my, and just go over that one more time, just to really lock that in. Should be okay pulling that off. Okay, I'm going to take the, just making sure, line that up nicely. I think that's just right there, and I think we should be all right. We'll pop that there, but we have covered the majority of that with that other one. So we're gonna, again, medium heat. I think that gold and pink really stands out on the blue stars, so I'm glad that I went for that choice. I was going to do a pink floral, but I thought this one really, it's subtle, like a nice subtle. Okay, I'm going to move that piece, and again pop that there, out of the way, letting that heat draw out, and then I'll take you through my plan. I just thought while I was sewing, I was like, oh, I know we can elevate this just a tad more. I mean, it's already pretty. Okay, see a little bit lifting on that side, so what we'll do is pop that back over, and just once more go over it with that heat. And this time I moved it over slightly so I could make sure that all of the bottom okie dokie. Oh, that is so sweet. So while I was stitching, I had an idea of using a brad at the top and then using some of this gorgeous chenille ribbon, or chiffon ribbon, sorry, and either doing a bow or a little tassel. So we're going to pick out a brad. Now I'm tempted, do we do pink or do we go with the blue? I think blue. Let's go for the blue. So we need a top part, a bottom part, and I will also need the whacker. I'm not going to use the hole maker because I'm just going to use my awl, is that what it's called? Pretty sure it's what it's called, but we'll just grab that just to pierce a hole into that rather than trying to slam huge. Now we could eyeball this, but I'm going to go about here, I think, and I'm just going to grab this and I'm just going to go for it, and I'm going to hopefully pierce it. If not, we're going to grab a good old seam ripper. There we go. Pull that one through. Time, and hopefully we haven't ruined. So we've got that in. And then we're going to pop this piece. It's got two sides, so you've got like a toppy bit and a bottom. I'm going to put it so it's got the ridge is facing up, and then we're going to pop that one down there too. And then we need a, what's it called, a hammer. So bear with me, I'll be back. Okay, so what you do is you pop that bit on there, and I'm going to hit this with a hammer. But I'm going to do that off camera just because the whole thing will shake and I need a more secure surface, so I'm going to take it onto the kitchen side and do that. Okie dokie, so now I'm going to wrap the book for the swap. The last thing I'm going to add is these little die cut stickers. I've made these on the print and cut setting through my Cricut. I'm going to link the file below and tag the designer if I can, because these are super pretty and they're just nice and a bit fun, aren't they? So to just package them nicely, I've got a little holographic baggie. I'm going to pop them in there and seal that up. I'm just going to take a bit more of that chiffon ribbon and tie it in a little bow, just for a little bit of extra. I have taken my nails off. It's the next day now, because the dark light was going yesterday. And then that's just a super little cute way of displaying the stickers so they don't get lost. So we're going to move them to the side. I've got this wrapping paper, which was from a local art studio near me, and I thought that was really nice and fun and vibrant. And the book I'm swapping, so the theme was a book published in the year you was born. So the book itself is a little bit tatty, which I'm a bit upset by, but it was published in 1990. This book was republished in 1991, but originally published in 1989. So perfect, and it sounds like a great story, and I might have to read it myself. I've also watched some really fun videos on how we can wrap this and make it super pretty. So we're gonna measure out and chop. I'll pop that to the side because we'll use it. And then the videos I watched, they didn't need loads and loads of. So we're giving it a go. I think we'd probably do it. Top. And they folded this bit in. I think that's how they did it, and made it into like a little flat. I think we need to do it the other way around, maybe. Okay. So we'll turn the book round. I must say the video on this made it look a little bit easier, so we used that bit there. That bit there. So I think what we're essentially doing is making some, oh yes, look, little pockets. So we want that to be a bit crisper. I'm going to just tuck that bit in slightly. Probably should have done a practice run here. We use a little bit of tape. They use double-sided sticky tape, but I'm not too worried about this. And then, if we that bottom off, they just tucked that in, and I'm just gonna secure the tape. Okay, so we've done that, and then we're gonna just slide our extras into those little pockets. Then do we want to add a little extra bow, or is that too much? No, I think that's just fine. Or, no, what we could do is we can add the ribbon just behind. Oh, sorry. Rupert, get down, buddy. Okay, well, we have a cat joining us. And if we do it a little bit at the top, let's cut some off. We can, tie that a little bit underneath. Then it kind of looks like, yes, I know, buddy. Oh. Okay. This is Rupert. We're going to just move Rupert out of the way a second. Try and straighten you back up. Okay, and we're going to come back. You stay there, buddy. And that's it, finished. So we've got a cute little swapsy for our book club.